We're back at 14 minutes after 7 o'clock right now, and time to check on what is trending online. We've got Ryan PC Trimble in the studio to break it all down this morning. So good morning. How's it going so far?
It's great. You know,
I like the time.
Thank you so much.
I didn't even notice that in the newsroom. I like that time.
Thank you so much. The theater group I'm a part of was going to throw it out, and I
No.
said, nope, I will wear that.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
looks good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So that would have ended up in a dumpster?
Yeah, they were going to throw out like 3 or
Really?
4 really cool like 60s ties, so I grabbed this.
No. God.
Not good. Guys,
That
come
hurts
on.
my ears.
I know. Never throw a good tie.
No.
Never.
Absolutely not. And speaking of costumes, Halloween is tomorrow. And in honor of Halloween, we're actually not going to talk about costumes, but we are going to talk about parties. Because if you want a fun keepsake for maybe Halloween or a wedding party or something, instead of passing around disposable cameras, why not pass around some whiskey? Redditor Drowsy_Jimmy taped a GoPro camera to the handle of Fireball and passed it around his wedding party. And the video, since then, has gone viral. It's hilarious to watch the whole thing. And I just thought this was funny that Fireball especially was getting so much attention right after.
I was going to say, isn't this the one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Norway, Sweden, and Finland just have sort of banned it effectively because they found out that one of the chemicals in it is called propylene glycol, which you don't know, but
can't
you
be
do know
good.
what antifreeze
You put it in your
is.
car.
So a type of antifreeze is actually in Fireball, which is great. I can attest that Fireball and all its ingredients do not do good things to one's body.
That's the same bottle.
That's the same bottle.
You know what? I was
wrong,
wondering the same thing, but I've seen close to empty ones, close to full ones, and this thing has gone to 4 or 5 different locations
But
now.
this may not be in consecutive order.
Yeah.
I was thinking
But
that-
also the antifreeze probably kills off any germs.
Exactly. That's what I mean, that's what some of the people in the newsroom were saying. Oh, it's gross. And I'm like, well, I feel like at that point, germs are not super what you're worried about.
That
But
gives new meaning to the phrase, what's your poison?
It sure does.
there it is.
Nailed
There
it.
it
It
is.
sure does. Holding the baby with a bottle of Fireball.
That's great.
Stay classy, wedding
Classic.
party.
Thankfully, it looks like a big wedding
Oh
party, though.
gosh, someone had to
it's
talk
like
her into it.
Individuals would not be getting too much poison.
No, that's
Yeah.
You know what I
no,
mean?
this is
At least they're spreading it around.
Well, some people were taking much bigger gulps than others, and I was looking at these, I was like, I could never do a shot that size, but that's because I'm an actual child. But we don't need to talk about that, I guess.
that's hilarious.
It is. You know what's not hilarious? The next story we're going to talk about. But it's good, and I think you'll like it, because if I remember correctly, you like the Hunger Games, right?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Well, the next story we're going to talk about is just as fiery as Fireball, but for a different reason. The final trailer for Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 arrived, and there's a lot going on now. It is the first of the final 2 Hunger Games movies, and it sees Katniss become sort of a figurehead for the revolution, a role that she is extremely uncomfortable with, you know, until, and you'll see it in the trailer, until she sees what the Capitol did to her home of District 12. You see it there. And so that sort of super motivates her to take on that role. Now, Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1 is due on November 21st. Tickets are on sale now, and if it is a Friday night, I can guarantee I will be there
Me
at the
too.
very first showing. Kim and I are going to go see it. I love these movies.
I love the movies too.
6 days after Gannon's birthday.
6 days after Gannon's
Throwing that
birthday.
out there.
November what?
21st?
7 days.
7 days.
Darn it, Medwick.
Bro fence. It's a bro fence.
The only thing I paid attention to that whole story was when it was released. I don't know the Hunger Games.
You should.
I mean, if I'm
It is
hungry, I
awesome.
eat something.
It's
Stop
not,
it.
I don't know
not in this part of the world
Exactly.
or this time
If Kim has gone out of her way to see them, you should absolutely see them.
Bob,
It's one of the 4 movies she's seen.
that I go to a
Yeah.
theater to see.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, though, Bob and I have sort of like a date planned
right.
out for Dumb and Dumber 2, which is on the 14th.
Wow.
Right.
Hunger
I
Games
remember
or
that from
Dumb
the
and
summer.
Dumber 2? Really?
We should go to the Hunger Games.
There's
with Kim
even
and
a
talk through
decision?
The whole thing.
Oh,
we
no,
just
I'll
do
do
it.
that.
Dr. Pepper? Oh, okay.
I'll do that.
I will sit behind you and I'll kick
Why is
you
your
over the head.
popcorn wet?
Absolutely.
What happened?
Well, at any rate, our next story Bob is actually very interested in. I'm going to turn it over to him for this.
Are you
so that
okay
he can
to-
weave through the whole
do
thing.
this
Can we
next
do
one?
this?
All
Game
right.
7 was last night. The Royals lost. Gannon?
Well, they gave it a good go. Remember yesterday I was saying, like, gosh, 10 runs in Game 6. I would be thinking, because I've had to pull for my team in the World Series before, and then when they just do a blitz of runs, I'm like, no, can you somehow save that offense
Right,
for the next
right.
game?
Well, they
because,
scored.
Bob, they lost by 1 run.
Yeah.
It was a tough game.
Well, yeah, and they scored. They were down 2-0 quick. They came right back, got the runs back, even game. Michael Morse, you saw, played at Pablo Sandoval, who had a great game. I mean, the guy's going to be a free agent, had 3 hits last night, scored 2 runs. Right there, that was Alex Gordon triples while doubling an air, but ended up on 90 feet away to tie the game, and this is how it ended. I mean, just a flare foul ball.
Oh, wow.
And that was it. But the guy on the mound there, again, Madison Bumgarner, even if you're not a fan of baseball, you can appreciate how literally with his left hand, he won the World Series. He beat the Royals.
He did.
He was responsible for 3 wins. Technically didn't get the win last night, but came in and did what he needed to do.
Sure.
So it's just, again, my team made it, which I honestly didn't think in my lifetime I would see again, because it's a small market team. They don't spend a lot of money. They did it the right way. They got back, but tip your hat to the Giants. They now are, again, and I talked about this a couple of days ago off camera, we remember the Reds teams, well, maybe not you as much because I'm older than you, the Reds teams from the 70s. Historically, you probably know them. Mm-hmm. This team, to me, is the truest sense of a dynasty in baseball that I've seen since I was a child.
Right.
And I felt like a kid again during this ride, so it was nice.
Yeah. I know. Kept him up late.
Yeah, we were worried.
Yeah, it was midnight last night
night
because I teetered on, do I even go to bed now?
Really?
Or do I just come into work? So I 2.5 hours sleep, which is fine. It was worth it because, again, I haven't done this since I was a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
Well, Bob's going to take a
tough.
nap, and we're going to be right back after this break.